super excited about it. For those that may not know, Siddhi means to attain a goal, and it also is another name for Ganesha or Ganpati, who is the Hindu god of luck and prosperity. Also, it's a play on words. Health Siddhi sounds like health city. Get it? Clever, right? Today, you'll probably notice that we have a different background for our talk, and we're actually going to try to show you a different background for every talk just to keep things interesting. Right behind me is Castillo de San Cristobal, which was completed in 1783 and at one point wrapped around the entire city of San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is where we're filming from today. You may have also noticed another addition to my background. Cheers! Believe it or not, this wine has something to do with what we're about to talk about today. I'll keep you posted. Sorry about that, had to take it slightly inside, a little windy. Not a bad thing. Anyway, today we want to talk about something that we've alluded to in some of our other videos, intermittent fasting. I want to get a little more in depth today and also talk about some of the benefits that my patients, friends, and even I have seen using this lifestyle. So let's break it down. Intermittent and fasting. First, fasting. To many of you, fasting really isn't that foreign of a concept. There are many cultures and religions that use fasting as part of particular observance periods, so you may have even done it before. Of course, fasting has many different definitions as well, and there's a particular type of fasting that goes with this lifestyle. As you'll see in this graphic, in the case of IF, which is the abbreviation we so lovingly have given intermittent fasting, it's very important to do a clean fast. That means during your fasting period, you can only have water, black coffee, black tea, green tea, basically any of those drinks without cream or sugar. And occasionally you can have just a little bit of salt, which I'll talk about later. To get the true health benefits of IF, you really need to stick to a clean fast. And what about the intermittent component? Intermittent, of course, means not all the time. And the amount of time and the time of day depends on what type of fast ends up working best for you. The best part about intermittent fasting, sleeping counts as fasting too. So you get a whole slew of hours that you can just breeze right through. Simple example, and I'll go into this in a little more depth in just a bit. Let's say you finish your dinner at 8 o'clock p.m., wake up the next morning at 7 a.m., have some water and black coffee at 10, and you break your fast at noon. So basically you really just skipped breakfast, which a lot of us unknowingly do anyway. So how does IF work? In the simplest terms, IF allows your body time to heal. When you eat, your body has to work hard to release certain hormones and suppress other hormones, all while potentially ignoring other parts of the body that may need its attention. So if you're constantly eating, your body's constantly ignoring important parts of the body and important processes. Getting more into the science of it, or the nerdy part, as I like to say, you've probably heard of insulin. Insulin is a hormone that's released when there's glucose in the blood. Glucose meaning when you've eaten something, sugar gets into your bloodstream. And as you probably know, too much sugar is not good for you. Over time, the more insulin that's released in the body builds up, and you have a higher baseline level of insulin. And that can lead to prediabetes and eventually diabetes. And Ajoy will actually go into a lot more depth about the development of diabetes in a later video. So what's the primary benefit that you'll see from IF? Weight loss. Think of it like a fridge and a freezer. When your body runs out of fuel in the fridge, which is basically sugar in the bloodstream when you're eating, where does it go? It goes to the freezer, to its stored fuel. Stored fuel is also known as fat. So while you're fasting, your body is getting into those fat stores and using them up. And who doesn't want less fat? There's also some other bonuses that you'll see in addition to weight loss. Decreased inflammation in many parts of the body. Decreased joint inflammation, less arthritis. Decreased gut inflammation, less symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. Less brain inflammation, meaning improved memory and decreased chance of developing Alzheimer's disease. Less liver inflammation, meaning less fatty liver, or if you already have fatty liver, it should actually go away with prolonged IF. And finally, less heart and vascular inflammation. So less chance of heart attack, less chance of stroke, and less chance of blockages in your arms and legs. IF can even cause improvement in hormonal imbalances. If you think about it, the endocrine or hormone system in the body is basically a giant feedback loop. So once you improve one hormone, insulin, which we talked about earlier, it generally affects the other hormones as well. Think about all the things that could improve with IF. Thyroid disease, women's health, so potentially regular periods, a potential treatment for infertility, as well as mental health. Remember, mental health is controlled by your brain hormones, serotonin, dopamine, and if these calm down, there's less incidence of anxiety and depression. So hopefully you get the idea. IF allows your body to get back into a good balance, allowing it to concentrate on the things that it should be concentrating on instead of just digesting food all the time. And this should lead to a happier, healthier, thinner you. One of the biggest points that I want to drive home is that IF is not a diet. I repeat, it is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. And in medicine, we know that lifestyle changes are the biggest drivers of long-term health benefits. And this is actually something that we hope to revisit with every video. We want you to change your lifestyle for the good. So if you do decide to adopt IF into your lifestyle, remember that it should be a long-term commitment, just like marriage. Another big advantage of IF is that it's really convenient and simple. No specialty foods to buy, no calories to count, no specific books or websites to follow, no specific apps to download. It really is quite simple. You just have to bear in mind a couple rules. In fact, really just one rule, and I'll get to that shortly. So I would consider it a low-stress lifestyle. Another thing that's nice about it is it's forgiving. Let's say you're on vacation and you have to start eating earlier to meet up with some family, or you have to stay out later to go to a party. That's okay. You can adjust your window to that particular time. Or if you want to have a longer window or not fast at all that day, 1 week even of stopping IF is not going to make you go backward and put all that weight back on. Remember, this is a long-term thing, so a couple of days here and there is not going to make a difference. It also will save you money and time, which I've realized, despite me being the only one in our family at this moment that's doing IF, a joy. Anyway, even if it's just you, you have to spend less time meal planning, less time at the grocery store, and more time concentrating on things that you want to do, like hobbies, reading a book, etc. And you know what I think the absolute best part about IF is? You can eat what you want. Really, you can. You don't have to do low carb, but you can if you want to. You don't have to be vegetarian, you don't have to be non-vegetarian, you don't have to count macros, meaning protein and carbs and fiber. You don't have to do any of this. You just have to stick to that eating window. It's super simple, and it's awesome. Remember, you can even have this. Now, just a little plug here. I would love it if you would eat a plant-based diet during your eating window, but that's a topic for me to drill into on another time. And one more big benefit, which I didn't realize until just about the last couple months, you can actually exercise during this time, even during the time that you're fasting. In fact, I actually prefer to exercise during the time that I'm fasting. I find that I have better endurance, I don't feel heavy, my running time has actually improved. It's really very interesting. You just have to make sure you're well hydrated and you're good to go. And actually another benefit of exercising while you're fasting, this makes that fat burning potential even better. So you've basically doubled your fat burning if you do fasting exercise. And like I said before, who doesn't want to burn fat? Okay, I know you've got to be at the edge of your seat now. How do I learn how to do this amazing lifestyle change? Don't worry, the time is now. So as I mentioned before, there's really just the one rule to stick to. You stick to that clean fast during that particular time of day where you've decided that you're not going to eat. Beyond that, like I said, you eat what you want and you do what you want. And you might be concerned about overeating during that time period when you're allowed to eat. Don't worry, your body will actually adjust itself. It's really amazing how the hormonal imbalance, just like in the rest of your body, the hunger signal hormonal imbalance will also straighten yourself out. So your body will learn to eat only the amount that it needs to, and you'll only eat till you're satisfied. You will not overeat. Trust me. So I'll use myself as an example of how to get started with IF. I've been IFing, yes, I used it as a verb, since September 2019. so about 9 months now at the time of this video. Just like any change that you're about to make, it's important to set a start date so you can prepare for it. So I decided I was going to start this process on September 29th, my birthday. So I finished dinner at 8 p.m. The next morning I had a black coffee, yes, that was an adjustment, on my way to work, and I broke my fast at 10 a.m. That's 14 hours. Didn't seem too bad, I just had a later breakfast that day. I continued with this process for the next couple weeks and slowly worked my way up to 16 hours, then 18 hours, and now I actually do between 20 to 23 hours every single day. I've just gotten used to it. I know 20 to 24 hour fast sounds crazy, but it's really not that bad. Basically, you're just having dinner and maybe a snack. Again, as long as it's in that window when you've decided to eat. Simple, right? But certainly not easy. There were definitely times during my adjustment period when I felt dizzy or nauseous or lightheaded, and there are actually ways to get through this. Just drink a lot of water, that certainly helps, and I may have mentioned before about salt. You can actually, and everyone laughs at me for doing this, but it really does help, take a little bit of salt in the palm of your hand and lick it. You'll almost instantly feel much better. Because believe it or not, when most people feel nauseous when they're not eating, it's usually due to low sodium and not due to low blood sugar, or due to dehydration. So water and salt should fix both problems. And talking again about hours and rules, most studies have shown that the best health benefits start when you reach that magic 16-8, meaning you fast for 16 hours and you eat during an 18-hour period. Even better if you can get to a longer fast. I found that I've had the most health benefits with at least a 19 to 20-hour fast. Of course, everybody is different, and you may actually notice weight loss in a 14 or 16-hour time period. Take my patient for an example. She had more weight to lose than I did, so she started losing weight quickly. And I did too, but over a longer period of time and with a shorter eating window. So it's very individualized. And finally, there are other IF regimens that I won't get into today. Extended fasts, alternate day fasting. I'm really happy to talk about them in future videos if there's interest. Just shoot us a message. So I hope that this video has helped you realize how IF works and how it can help your body adapt and heal. And for the 50,000th time, I just want to emphasize how this simple but not easy way of life can help you reap benefits that you never thought were possible. Think of it as a big reboot for your system. I also want to just remind you that this is a lifestyle change and it's something that you're going to be in for the long run. But I promise you'll start to see changes even if you just give it 1 month. Just try it for 1 month. You may not see changes on the scale, but I encourage you to take measurements and take pictures of before and after, and I promise you'll see a difference. If you don't, reach out to us. We can help you and tweak things and see what's going on. And once again, we want to thank you so much for tuning in and giving us your attention today. And please, please, please take the time to like, subscribe, and click that friendly old bell icon to get notifications for our future videos. And also, we encourage you to leave any comments or suggestions, constructive criticism. We really do appreciate your feedback. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. Namaste.